Okay, we lit it just like a fuse, so no need to pick and choose. Welcome to 2020, where we do more than interviews. The hottest be coming through, jumping knowledge on all of you. Get a pick of the front of you with the truth that they offer you. Yeah, hands up, we doing it for the culture. To give artists and businesses more exposure. Keeping it real and stay solid just like a boulder. It's about to go all the way down, can't get no lower. Chasing my dreams, know that they get no slower. But if I stay running, I promise they getting closer. Moreover, success my older. And if you're sleeping on me, I'm waking them up like Folgers. I told you, coming from the land with the tide roll, where we'll be on a whole different vibe though. We like to ride slow and keep our windows tinted so you really can't see us, like Stevie Wonder waking up with his eyes closed. Yeah, got the kind of flow that rock the boat. On my 16s of pounds of dope. And if you figure you can hang with me on the mic, then grab some rope. Matter of fact, better grab some hope. While you at it, we keep it live, it's time to tune in. Turn up the sound on what you're using. It goes so hard, I think it's bruising. The show is 2020, no need to zoom in. Yeah.
I done went on many a date over there.
Oh, yeah. I haven't been there since I was a kid, but, you know, my Uncle Soon, you know, he passed some years ago, you know, about maybe, when did he pass? He probably passed in 2012 or 2010, but he was up there for a minute, you know.
Yeah, it is, because it's the #1 retirement city in the U.S., actually.
Really?
Yeah, because the cost of living is so low, and that's where a lot of people go to retire.
So you're making paper, and the cost of living is low.
You just stacking money. A lot of wealth is over there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of land, so it's a lot of new subdivisions being built every time.
They're soon going to be like Birmingham, because I call Birmingham Little Atlanta, because people are running from Atlanta going to Birmingham.
Absolutely.
And Birmingham is building up so beautiful. Man. You know, you get your money's worth, you know?
Absolutely. It's a great place to stack money.
Yeah. See, a lot of people sleeping on Alabama, but let them sleep. Stay
but stay preaching
right where you at.
Preaching.
See, I moved from New York to here, so niggas is like, yo, you in Alabama? I'm like, yo, Alabama has history just like New York, but actually deeper. You know what I mean? If you want to get technical, because everybody came from Alabama, moved to New York, moved to California, moved up north, moved down south, you know, further south, maybe like Miami or something like that. But yeah, don't sleep on Alabama, man.
When I found out that Alabama, well, Mobile specifically, was originally the capital of Louisiana back in the day. Yeah, bro. That's how we got Mardi Gras first.
Wow.
That is how we beat it. That we were the capital of Louisiana when the Louisiana Purchase and all that happened, and the French got to it and all that, and Iberville and Bienville, they moved Mardi Gras over here and started turning up and stuff. They was like, yo, New Orleans is right here. And then as time passed, state lines started to occur. They moved everything to New Orleans.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. It's crazy.
Wow, you learn something new every day.
I'm trying to tell you, man. I study. I've always been that weird kid that like history. You know what I'm saying? It's just always been appealing to me because it plays out like a movie.
Well, see, the thing about it is the more you know about history and the more you know about, more knowledge you have, you're a threat.
That is true.
You understand? You're a threat when you know about history and your intellect is on a level that other people can't understand, especially white people. You are a big threat, you know, and you become a target. So you look at the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, and Medgar Evans, and you know the Kennedy, you know the Kennedys. They were all a threat because they wanted to change the world.
Yep.
You know, but you know white folks wanted to keep us slaves, even to this day, right now. You know, and that's what kills me, man. Like, yo, we are people, we are human beings. You know. 100%. We might have this melanin in us, but y'all are trying to go to the beaches to try and get this color.
Imitating greatness.
But you want to kill us though. You know, so you know we can sit here and talk.
No, this to be honest with you, DJ K Rock, to be perfectly honest with you, this is what my podcast is. An exchange between someone now and someone who's honed their craft. That is what I enjoy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a spiritual person, but I won't say I'm a church person. I feel like Jesus was one of the people who was out amidst the people.
Right.
And I feel like that's where the knowledge is. I can go to a building all day, but I need to sit down with someone who's my elder, who's done this longer, who has more experience, and just absorb from them. I've always been that cat. So this is essentially, my podcast is me getting back to that.
Right.
Because I enjoy that. I feel like, have you noticed, like, over like the last, I want to say maybe 15 years, conversation has stopped. Like, as social media increased,
well,
interpersonal conversation.
Well, my personal take on a lot of this stuff is the devil moves in silence. The devil has put people in place, and he's been working at this for years, to put certain people in place. And when he's ready, he's going to make his move. If you look at things right now, it's all mayhem. You understand? They stopped church. They closed the doors to the church.
Yeah.
You understand? They shut the world down. You know, you have the elite and the rich white folks fighting towards each other for power. You know,
that's real.
They're you know, they're trying to kill people, because I look at it as we're being purged.
Oh yeah,
you understand?
1000%.
We're being purged, so therefore, you know, every family for itself. You know, they're talking about coming into your house and someone is sick, they're taking you out. You know what I mean? They're trying to set up these creation, however, you know, you pronounce it, camps
that they got for the Mexicans right now.
You know, to them, they, you know, if I had a child with me and he was sick or she was sick, you gonna come in my house and take them? That's why they tried to get you to surrender your guns. You see, guns is bad, you know, but you don't realize that they send certain people to go out to cause this mayhem.
Absolutely.
So therefore they can talk about guns is bad. Just surrender your guns, give money for guns. Because when it's time to move on you, what do you have to protect your family?
You can't defend yourself, right?
You know? What are you going to do? You know? So that's not the right move. You got to protect yourself somehow, you know, unless you the greatest martial arts like Bruce Lee or something, you know, but can you stop a bullet? You know?
Sure.
So at least if you die, you dying trying to save yourself, save your family. So, you know, this, you know, when you sit down and you analyze this whole world, man, they stopped music. They stopped killing for a while. You know? Soon as they opened up, within 48 hours, what happened? 5 murders.
Yep.
5 murders. Because now you had people locked up and restless.
Yep.
You know,
anxiety.
People couldn't see their mistresses. You know what I mean? And you know, so the true colors really started showing. And people, they said the domestic violence is at an all-time high because
skyrocketed.
You know, that person that you really didn't care for, you locked up in that house because you got kids or whatever the case may be. And, you know, your mistress, you know, or your guy or girlfriend or whatever is on the side like, yo, when you coming over?
Right.
You didn't tell me you was married. You didn't tell me you had somebody else. And you lying saying you staying with a friend or your parents or whatever. So it's like, you know, but you know, it is what it is, you know. It is.
No, man, that's truth. And you want to know what's crazy? I've been seeing a lot more of this, like, and I hate that I have to be on social media as much, but that's how I manage and interact. It's like a gift and a curse.
Well, that's the future.
It is.
But you got to know how to filter out the true from the false.
Right.
You know, you got to really know who really means well for you and really want to get the truth out to you instead of that person trying to really, you know, scare you into believing that, oh, this is true when it's really not.
Right. Something, I call him my dad, but he's my best friend's dad because my father passed away in 2005. He told me something. If you want to know who means well in your circle, take one common thread and tell it differently to each person. And when the messed up or the mess gets out, that's the leak in your bucket. I feel like it's the same way with media. Can they take your interest and reflect what you're putting into it? Can they, if you're about positivity, are they giving you a situation from all angles, or are they trying to skew your view on something? Are they telling you the facts as they are? Are you doing your homework afterwards? Are you really going and doing your research? Like God forbid, the Aubrey Ahmaud situation. You see how bad they trying to discredit this man? Like anybody who's like, man, this is a messed up situation.
3 months for, you know, people to really find out outside of Georgia what's really going on. But this is happening every day.
Yeah, everywhere.
You know, and everywhere, in every state. Look at New York. You know, the men in blue in New York, as they say, they get away with everything. They can run up to you, beat you up, and get away with it. They have a cop up in New York right now. I think it's Rodriguez. I might be wrong, but I think it's Rodriguez. He has numerous of write-ups. Well, people reporting on him, but they still have him on the force, and he's just abusing people. You know, when you have a badge and a gun, you feel like you're above the law, and you feel like you're God. You know what I mean? And you can do anything you want to whomever. And see, and that's what's wrong with police departments right now. You really need to turn over, you know, have internal affairs, really investigate the cops. You should have special units going around watching the cops.
Exactly.
Making sure that they're doing the right thing. Because if we're paying their salary, why are they abusing us? Right. You know, some people, you know, they've been abused in school. So but they were smart enough to pass the test to be a cop. So now that they're a cop, if they ever see the people that mistreated them in school, they're going to harass them because now they're the big man in charge or big woman in charge. You know, so, you know, you have to really be careful on who you treat as you grow. Because if you treat people right as you grow, from little to, you know, when you get older, people remember you, and it might be something that you need. It might be help that you really need, and that person will remember you and give you that aid, help you, you know, in your time of need. You understand?
Absolutely.
You have to, you know, I was raised, man, respect everybody. You know, respect, you know, definitely your elders. You know, and if you want respect back, you know, you have to give respect. You know?
Absolutely.
And the problem with people today is they're so busy trying to take instead of trying to get.
It's that me.
You know,
me.
Exactly. But damn, I want what he has.
Yep.
You know, let me go and get that. You know, especially kids in school, they come into school with the nice iPhones, the latest iPhones, the sneakers or whatever. You lay it down, put it in your locker. What happens? You open up your locker to go get it, gone. Yep. Because someone's watching you very closely. Someone is watching someone else very closely if they admire what they have. You know, I remember, you know, I also work for the government, you know, and I had some people come say, how'd you get that job?
That is the most insulting thing.
I said, I got this job the same way you could have got the job. Go down there and apply for it.
There you go.
You understand? Go and apply for it the same way. Don't look at it as, damn, you a black man, you know, and you got a good job, and I'm out here in these streets trying to make it, you know. A white boy had told me that one time.
Are you for real?
Yeah, a white boy told me that. And he said, man, how'd you get this job, man? You know? I said, yeah. The same way you can go and apply for it. You know?
Oh, man, kudos to you for keeping your composure in that situation.
You have to keep your composure because some people just don't know. And you have to kind of enlighten them, school them, you know, and because they was raised differently. Not everybody, every household is different. You know, not every household is raised with respect. You know, a lot of household has a lot of tension, friction, and toxic relationships with mother and father and kids and parents. So, you know, I come from a good family. You know, my family, you know, my mother and father, God rest their soul, you know, they taught me how to be a man. They taught me, you know, the right way of doing things and showed me the wrong way of not doing things, you know. They told me this is what you need to do. They guided me in the right direction, but they also put me out there so I can also feel things on my own. You know, they wasn't really strict, you know, but they showed me and they spoke to me. And, you know, my dad, he used to work for corrections. So in New York, Rikers Island, Brooklyn, House Detention, the whole nine, you know, the rough places. Yeah. So he was like, look, I want you to come with me. So he took me to, you know, to this job. And, you know, I was up in the jails. I was probably, you know, teenager, you know, 11, 12, 13, you know. And he said, look, man, if you ever do something stupid, don't call me to come get you out, because this is where you're going to end up. Man, from that day forth, I straightened up, fly right. I was never really a bad kid, but I knew where I didn't want to go.
Right.
Because you lost all your privileges. You're in a but-so-big cell, no freedom, and you have to eat 3 squares of meals a day. You got to watch your tail. You know, you can't call somebody or hug somebody that you love. Why would you want to go to jail? This is what I don't understand about people. People love going to jail. It's like their second or first home. I wouldn't, no. Right. There's nothing beautiful or exciting about going to jail. You know, I'd rather be out here where I'm free to do what I want. Drive a car, hug somebody, kiss somebody, you know, buy something, you know. Right. Go to the gym, you know, run around, mingle with people. Wake up when I want to, go to sleep when I want to, eat what I want. Right. You know, I just don't understand why people want to keep repeating that cycle and going in there, you know, and then teaching your kids it's okay, it's cool, because that's what the world thinks right now. It's cool, you know, to go to jail. It's cool to get arrested. It's cool to walk down the street. You're a grown man walking down the street with your pants sagging. That's the nastiest thing ever, you know, and people don't even know the true meaning to that.
Let me ask you something. Let me poke your brain a little bit on that. I was having a conversation with my uncle not long ago, and I feel like the concept of prison and jail, to people now, I think they see like this illusion of like status with it. Like they feel like it's like a stripe, you know what I'm saying? I've been to jail, I've been to blah, 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 and I'm back now, you know what I'm saying? That sets me above you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the line, the morality of right and wrong is like skewed now, or it's like blurred.
It's been blurred for many, many years. You know, you're born in the projects. You know, if you ain't doing this, you ain't real. Ooh. If you snitch, you ain't real. Mm-hmm. You know, you're gonna have to take this L from me, or you ain't real.
That's so contradictory to me. I don't get it. But how are you? Okay, being real is the equivalent of being a real man or a real woman, right? But being a real man is taking responsibility for your actions. Exactly. So me taking responsibility for someone else's actions for clout is the definition of someone who's not a man.
And that's why they're so blinded, because they was taught wrong. They was taught wrong.
How can we break that generational curse though? Like, cause this,
you know,
this is going
we
on.
don't have enough places where young men can go to and really learn from somebody older. Mm. You know, we have the Boys and Girls Club, but they, you know, they just go there to hang out, play, and have fun. There's no one teaching the youth right now. You know, you're taking away everything from them. The basketball courts. You see any basketball courts around here? That's the only thing you'll see around here is a baseball field and a soccer field, football field. But they take, there's really no basketball, you know, fields out here. They take them down. But that comes with, these kids don't know how to take care of it.
That's true.
They want to get out there, jump all over the court, pull the, you know, the net down or whatever. You know, parents, you need to teach your kids better.
Respect.
Respect. If you want something to be around, don't have your kids tear it up.
Right.
Simple as that. You know, but getting back to the youth, it starts from the youth. It starts from the home. Whatever the kids learn from home, they're going to take it out in the streets and learn what they learn in the streets and put it together. You know, you have some people that have great home training, but also out in the streets, and they got home training, street training, and book sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when you incorporate all of that, you know how to work the system. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know how to work the system. You know how to deal with your homies on the street. You know how to go to school and get that education, and you respecting your peers. That's when you understand. Someone taught you how to understand how to survive in this world. But you got some people that come from a home and say, you got to go out there and get it. Go out there and get it however you need to get it. That kid's going to go out there and steal.
Right.
You know, that kid's going to go out there, once they get their first taste of killing somebody, then they feel like they can do it again if they got away with it. Especially if they're youth underage. You just go to the little detention center for a little bit, and then you come out. A little kid can murder somebody, you know, before what, 13, 12? Mm-hmm. Stay in that little youth center or whatever for a couple of years, and then get out and live his life. Some people can get out and say, look, I'm not going to do this. You know, I need to get my life right. That's somebody that spoke to that child, you know, and let him know the difference and what he did was wrong. You cannot do that, you know. What if somebody did that to your mother or your father? How would you feel?
Ooh.
You know, so it starts from the youth, and we have to figure out some type of program where that, you know, we can teach these youth, even if they're not being taught at home, that they can be taught somewhere, a center, you know, someone that has the love and the passion for these kids and the time, you know, to really teach these kids and have them understand, you know, how to live in this world. You know, we go to school from kindergarten, 12th grade, but we don't learn nothing in school, for real. It's free, right?
It is.
You can go to a Catholic school that you have to pay $50 million a month, you know, to learn, but they teach you better, and they teach you more about religion, and they teach you more about respect, and they teach you how to live.
That's real.
Why is it unbalanced like that? When you go to college, you have to pay to go to college. Knowledge is key. You have to pay for knowledge. If you want something and you want your child to be smart and bright, you have to pay for it. Sending them to public schools, now there are some great public schools around. You have to fight to get in there. Right. You know, hey, I live at this address when you really don't live at that address. Right. You know, but you know, if you're a parent and you're not in tune with your teacher, you know, you don't know what's going on with your child.
I think a lot of people are feeling that brunt right now. Have you, like you see, a lot of people complaining like, "Ooh, I need to get away from my kids for a bit." They're joking, but they're dead serious. Okay. And my boy, he's a good friend of mine. He literally put out a status and reached out to teachers and said, after 1 week of being with my kids, I see what they're talking about now. Yeah. And he apologized to them publicly. And I thought that was probably the realest thing I ever seen. Yeah. Because they don't get those pats on the back. They're underpaid. They don't get...
How is it that teachers are not getting paid to teach your child how to live in this world?
Crazy.
How is it that they're getting paid, barely getting paid? And half of them that are going to school having 1 or 2 masters are still not getting paid. You know?
Straight off a passion.
So why is that? You know? Why is that? Teachers need to get paid more money because they are teaching your child how to live in this world. And they need to change, you know, what they've been teaching kids right now. Because what they're teaching these kids right now is not the way to live. Teach them how to do measurements. Teach them how to stocks and bonds. Teach them how to invest. Teach them how to respect each other. Yep. You know, teach them how to, you know, prepare, you know, a resume. You're teaching them stuff that was way before their time, back in the 1700s, that half that stuff ain't even true. Ooh. You know, you're not even teaching them the real thing. You know, okay, teach them, you know, how many black people invented just about everything that you can see. But that's not in none of the schools.
Right.
a black person, person invented this, the stop sign, what peanut butter, I think, the list goes on and on. First black person to do a brain surgery, there's so many things that our generation, our black generation has created, invented, that it's so much that a lot of white people took from us and took the credit from, but it's so much black history that is not being taught in the school, but you're teaching about Ben Franklin and Abraham Lincoln or whatever. It's time to change all of that, because how people were living back then and not how they're living now. And then I just heard, just yesterday, someone told me there was 7 presidents before Washington.
Oh, yeah. Washington. One of them was black too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That blew my mind, because I thought for many, many years
Washington was the first.
Washington was the first president.
Nope.
So why isn't that being taught? Is what I'm saying, because they don't want nobody to know there was a black president. Mm-hmm. They don't want nobody to know that the black people started the Republican Party.
Yep.
They come, they take everything, and then they turn it into their own. I'm not trying to sound racist or nothing like that. I love everybody. Trust and believe, whoever's listening to this, I love everybody. I don't care if you're black, white, Chinese, or whatever. I'm just a fair person. Just be fair. Stop trying to pull wool over our eyes like we're not going to find the truth. Ever since they made Facebook, MySpace, IG, every social media, now the truth is coming out. Mm-hmm. And you can get the truth just like that, no matter where it's coming from. Because now everybody's putting up the truth. Everybody's putting up knowledge. You can go to one person, selective sites and, know this person is for you to know the truth, and it's sad that they've been hiding this for so many years. And if you realize, a lot of people are getting along, black and white people are getting along now, because white people are realizing what their ancestors has done for so many years to black people. That's why the older people are still around, because they know their kids are getting along and went to school with black people and know that they're cool. What I hear y'all talking about, that's years ago. Black people are cool. Mm-hmm. Like Cat Williams said, it's always good to have some white friends. That is so true. It's real.
Very much so.
It's real. So, white people are changing as they grow. And they see that, black people are not what they were taught they were. Mm-hmm. We're not beasts. We're not animals. We bleed just like you. So we can all get along. And we can all move forward. And we can all build. And we can all come together.
That's the only way we're going to make it, bro.
That's the only way we're going to make it.
Oh,
only way we're going to make it. So, it's time for a change. In this world, we're in a new world order now. Mm-hmm. You understand? So whatever happened in February, that was the old world. We're in a new world because they're still trying to set new orders. Yep. They're opening things up. Yeah, go ahead, have fun, party.
They just sitting back watching, right?
And they're watching, because they wouldn't open up unless the numbers change. Mm-hmm. And being that these doctors and these nurses are coming out saying and telling the truth about how they're getting paid extra money. If we just say they died from COVID,
I saw that.
You're getting extra money. But a lot of the real doctors, and I commend them, are telling the truth. They're not letting us treat these patients right to save their life. They want them to cold before you put them on a ventilator.
It's crazy.
When we can actually save their life with oxygen and other things. So it'll prevent them from, coding, going to that final level. Man, this is crazy, man.
I was talking to my mom, because my mom's an RN. Mm-hmm. And every time she goes to work, I pray. Like, I pray, bro, because she come home, sometimes she call me every day, and she just tells me what she sees. And it's mortifying, bro. It really makes you consider mortality and the state of mind someone who's in power, like, really is. Like, when you're in a position of power, does your value of life that's not yours diminish? Like, is it really that much? Like, it bothers me. It really bothers me. It's like they're detached, kind of. Does that make sense?
It's all about that stature, you know, that of I'm a doctor and I'm getting paid 6 figures.
Okay.
Your life really doesn't matter to me.
That's crazy.
You have some doctors where you go in for your appointment and you try to talk to that doctor and they don't have time for you. They don't have time. They don't have time for you. You know what I mean? They want to rush you in, rush you out. Get that copay. Hey, you need some medication.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Here you go.
Ooh.
Here you go. Oh, we'll put you on this. We'll put you on that, and blah 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 blah. And this is what I tell people. Doctors are only prescription writers. You're your own doctor.
That's real.
Because if you go and you sit down on that couch or that little bed or whatever they got hung up, you know, in that opening that doctor's room or whatever, doctor's gonna come in. Hey, how you doing today? Pull up his chair. What seems to be the problem?
Yep.
You have to tell that doctor
what's wrong with you.
What's wrong with you?
Yep.
And what he says is, okay, let me take your temperature, let me check your, you know, pulse, and let me take your pressure. Your 3 main things. Oh, let me check your ears, let me look at your eyes, let me look at your throat. That's all the doctor's going to do. And then he's going to determine if you have redness in your throat, you know, if your glands or whatever is swollen in your nose or whatever, if your ears, if you have fluid behind your ears, you know, if your eyes are red, if you're running a fever. Antibiotics. Antibiotics. They're prescription writers. You are your own doctor. And if you know the remedies on how to cure yourself, you don't even need to go to the doctors. And that's what the problem is now. That's why they're sending out the viruses, you know, population control. Not a lot of people are going to the doctors because they're realizing eating more fruit, ginger, you know, lemons, and elderberries, elderberries, berries. You know, the more you eat healthy, the less you see a doctor.
Yep.
And if you know what onions can do for you, peppers and all that stuff, if you read up on it, it'll tell you what onions will do for your body, your bloodstream, whatever the case may be. Certain things plays as an antibody.
Yep. Fact.
You know, that's why a lot of doctors won't tell you that vitamins are good for you. No, they tell you it's bad for you. You don't really need vitamins and this and that or whatever. Because they don't want you to be healthy. Because if you're healthy, you don't have to go see them.
Right.
They need that money. They need to write a prescription so they can get money. So the less people that go to doctors, it becomes a problem. Now your copay goes up.
Right.
You know? Now your copay goes up. Now we got to figure out what we can do to get this pharmaceutical money coming in, still coming in, because, you know, that's one of the largest things in the world, you know, to make money off of is drugs.